Nancy Mimless. Nancy Mimless. Would that be the French?
That would.
Yes?
That would be the French.
Have you been to France?
No.
So we don't know this for sure.
No.
But where have you been recently?
I have been recently to University of Pittsburgh Theaters, The Curse of the Starving Class. Last night. Yes, it runs April 2nd through the 12th at the Henry Hayman Theater.
You're very rehearsed today.
You're
on the ball.
That was it. Thank you.
Now let's get raw. Let's get raw.
You'll get raw on this show.
How was it?
It's a dark comedy, so if you like that kind of genre, and if you like Sam Shepard, you will enjoy this production. It has those two elements.
What is your definition of a dark comedy?
A dark comedy is like The End. You ever see Burt Reynolds' The End? It's about death, but it's funny. It's like the subject, my definition of dark comedy is the subject isn't really funny, but it's dark, but there's funny things about it. Like when someone slips on a banana peel and falls. It's not really funny, but it is funny.
Oh, I think that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, me too. That's why I never walk where there's a banana peel. It's about 2 hours, and the whole production is 2 hours and 15 minutes. That includes intermission. It is an interesting cast of all different types of people and characters. Lucy Clabby plays the wife. Her name's Ella. It's about the Tate family and their struggle to get out of the poverty that they're in, and they're in tremendous debt, and the father's an alcoholic, and the son and the daughter are worried that it's going to pass, that poison, as they call it, is going to pass through them. What's inherited and what you grow up to be. The wife... Oh, actually, all of them are searching for an escape. The wife thinks they're going to sell the farm and move to Europe. She doesn't really know why she wants to live in Europe, but it's probably nicer,
It's good to have dreams.
Right, it's good to have dreams. And the daughter, who's in the 4-H and has an obsession with becoming a mechanic, she wants to escape. The son wants to escape. The husband wants to escape. And it's mixed with a lot of interesting characters that come in to their story. There's a woman who owns a bar in town who buys the farm from the drunken dad for $1,500, and she wants to make it a steakhouse. Yeah. And there's some derelict characters who come in near the end. And
in the show, not in the audience.
No. This is in the show. But it's definitely Sam Shepard. It's definitely about how, the middle class is shrinking and people are becoming poor, and the American dream is not really a dream.
So still relevant today. This was written in the 70s?
It was written in 76, I think. Interesting that it seems to be set in the 50s because they talk about their Packard, which is a car specific to that time period. But some of the music is 70s, and some of the things that they talk about seem to be not the 50s. But I think that's interesting because it's topical. It's all time periods. We all can understand the farmer struggling, the middle class struggling, people struggling in general, and an abusive father, and people desperately trying to help and save their family. There's also a lot about them being starving. There's a lot of comments about, we're not starving, we have food. But the refrigerator is like this pivotal focal point. It's always empty, the refrigerator, except at one time, and they're always opening it to look in the refrigerator, which is always empty. There's a whole speech the mother has about the refrigerator being empty. When she closes it, maybe it'll have something in it. No, it's empty. So Lucy Clabby is the wife. Her name she's playing Ella. She was very, very, very good. She had been in Stop Kiss, which was the first show that I had reviewed, and she's excellent. Ricardo Villa-Roger, he is, I'm sure I tortured that, sorry Ricardo. He is the father who's drunk and disappears and taking the family through this nightmare. He's also excellent. The daughter, Emma, is Amy Wooler. She is also interesting. She comes out in the beginning. There's a whole monologue about menstrual cycle. Yeah, don't eat before you go. And she's really effective as her character. And then there's the son, Wesley, who's played by Chris Collier, and he's also brings the story along. He's probably the most tortured about being like his father and having that violence and despair. And then there's Charlie the sheep. So Charlie the sheep comes on, and everyone seems, or at least the young women in the audience, all went, "Aww."
A literal sheep.
A live sheep. Live sheep.
4 legs.
4 legs, baby sheep. They put him in this playpen in their kitchen. Charlie has maggots, and so they're trying to make him better because they have very few animals left. I think they ate. There's a whole thing about eating the only chicken that Emma cleaned and was going to use for her 4-H project. So Charlie is one of their last. One of their last live animals, and Charlie's being nurtured.
Where do you get a stage-trained sheep in Pittsburgh?
There's some petting zoo, and I forget the name. It's in the program, but there is a petting zoo that supplied Charlie, and Charlie has a name, and it's his stage debut. Aww.
Oh, okay.
So the interesting...
Because I'm trying to think of other shows that would require sheep
no,
on stage
because in
that
Gypsy,
could employ them.
She's holding a stuffed animal.
Well, that's
little
a cow,
lamb,
isn't it?
No,
Oh,
little lamb, little lamb.
Okay, but yeah.
No, the cow's not real in Gypsy either. Fake. It's all fake. Smoke and mirrors. Yeah.
But not this
Not
sheep.
this sheep. This sheep's alive. Well, until it's not alive.
Was it well behaved? I mean...
Yeah, well, I never heard it make a sound. It just sort of ate and chewed on the newspaper in the bottom of the playpen. It was very well behaved and seemed to listen when people were talking, which was really interesting because people were yelling.
There's actors that don't even do that.
I know. But here's the interesting thing. When you walk into the theater, there's a sign that says, tonight's performance or at the performance, these 3 elements. Live sheep. No, this is not in any particular order. Live sheep, adult language, meat smells.
There was a sign that warned you of this.
Right.
That sounds like a restaurant.
I know.
I might enjoy going
I was waiting for the meat smells.
Adult language, meat smells, and live sheep.
How can you not want to go?
It's a Texas Roadhouse.
Meat smells. I don't know. They did, though. The smell of meat. It might have said the smell of meat. I go back.
There's the name of the restaurant right there.
The smell of meat.
The smell of meat. Did you see in like cursive, like letters, like real nice font.
Cooking with booze.
Do you remember Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop?
Oh, yeah. Here's Lamb Chop.
Lamb Chop was the right hand. Yes, get it right. Is Shari Lewis still alive?
No,
she's dead.
I don't think so. I don't think. Oh, that's sad.
That means Lamb Chop's dead too.